Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and I'm here in West Bromwich. And what I thought I'd do today is take you to a place that I think many of you have got fond memories of. It was called the Gala Baths. Now the Gala Baths were up Lombard Street West, along Edward Street. There's been a lot of chat lately as to where was the main entrance to the Gala Baths. So I'm going to take you up there and I'm going to show you where I think the entrance was and how the Gala Baths were situated. And if I'm wrong, obviously you can put me right in the comment section below. So let's go and have a look and see what we can find of the Gala Baths. I'm going along Victoria Street now. So a quick look up here, just off the High Street here in West Brom. Pretty impressive modern office block here with its lime green panelling. And just on the corner of Victoria Street there is quite a very old building. Still part of the old High Street. Not many of those old buildings left from the 1800s. Asda House here on the right. Still a dental clinic. I thought that had moved. And generally you find on these big office blocks today, there's always something on the side that says offices to let. Sikh temple here. I think that used to be some industrial premises there on this corner. Walkers, I think it was called. Here's a church here, West Bromwich Community Church they call it. Now we've got Edward Street here. Just here on Victoria Street there's a small row of old terrace properties there. Another one I've noticed there is the front door onto the main pavement. There's a lot of work going on Edward Street these days due to the new extension to the Edward Street Hospital. It helps to treat the elderly with mental health issues. Just having a big £50 million build. I think it's going to be completed in the summer of 2025. Today we're on a Friday. It's a cool day again. So we're about another 12 months or so away before this new Edward Street Hospital opens. And I'll just cross over just to show you this strange little house here. I presume it's still a house, not an office. It's just standing here on its own. Yeah, just to show you now what's going on with this place. It's quite a big place now. There's still some original parts of Edward Street Hospital. Yeah, you can just see ahead of me, there's a couple of pillars there with some, what would they be, lions on the top of them? So those are the original from the hospital when it used to be called the West Bromwich District Hospital. West Bromwich District Hospital, which opened in 1869. The district hospital did change its name to the Edward Street Hospital. And we've got a part here, it's original. This hospital was badly damaged during the war, Second World War. It was on the November the 19th, 1940 when West Bromwich had its worst air raid. The rear of this hospital got bombed. And nobody died, there was a few injuries. But on that night, around 50 people or so were killed during the raid in West Bromwich as a whole. You'd be amazed really when you think about this particular small part here of Edward Street, Lombard Street and Lodge Road, how much history there is just around here. And as I cross from the hospital, we just take a look at this place here. This is the Ryland Memorial School. This was opened in 1902. Yes, this is the Ryland School of Art, and it's now a protected building. You can still see just above the green door, engraved, it says the Ryland Memorial School. And there's a lot of sculpted artwork just above it as well. It's still a fine looking building. It's now being used as a British Muslim school now. Next to it was the West Bromwich Grammar School, but in 1902 it was originally the West Bromwich Municipal School. It has got a blue plaque on the front, which this tells you that Madeleine Carroll, the famous Hollywood actress, was educated here. Her father also taught here at this school. He used to teach French. The school is now also part of, I believe, the Muslim school. But when you look at the frontage now, it's got a lot of weeds growing out to the front now, and at the top near the roof line and near the gutters, roof gutters, there's foliage growing. So it's looking a bit neglected, sadly. Yeah, the municipal school will go on to be a grammar school, which it was in 1944. The grammar school was then transferred to Menzies in 1964, before Menzies itself became a comprehensive in 1969. As we walk down Lodge Road, just show you that the town hall itself has been under a lot of renovation of late. The scaffolding looks as though it's finally coming down. Just show you the town hall now as the scaffolding has been removed. It looks cleaner. It looks as though it's all been shot blasted. A quick look along the high street here. I was walking up here not so long back. Did a video about what I call the lower high street. Check that one out if you haven't already seen it. It all looks very, very clean. And the public library here has also been cleaned. It used to be the site of prior to that building, there used to be the site of a market hall. That moved around 1907, that's when this new library was constructed. It's a Grade 2 listed building, as is the town hall. Let's go and have a look up Lombard Street West then. The Magistrates Court is in a bit of a sorry state now. Yeah, it was built in 1890 and it was closed as a law court in 2011, and it hasn't been used for anything in particular since. The police discovered there was somebody growing cannabis in there. It's very difficult to determine what they could do with this building actually. It's been marketed as a warehouse. It says it's a restaurant, this building here. Back in the day, I think in the 30s, 40s, there used to be a factory here called St George's Engineering. This West House block is a bit of an eyesore, isn't it really? Look at all the paint, all the peeling off. But there was more bombing around this particular area, and there was a few houses were hit along this side of the road. And this now brings us to what we've come for in the first place, the Gala Baths. As you can see, it's one big car park now. But just here used to be the baths on this particular site. The baths were built on here in 1875 at a cost of £9,750. They did some alterations in 1897, which included the extension of the swimming pool and I think they extended it, but I think it's about 75 feet long, and it cost £45,000 to do it. And it reopened in 1898, and I understand that the entrance to this particular part of the baths was just over there, where there's a bit of a walkway here. That's Lombard Street West. That was the entrance to these public baths. These baths undergone some more improvements in 1934 when they improved the boiler room and the laundry room, and it reopened in 1936. This particular area here was the site of the new baths that was built, and it was built to meet modern standards. It had a very spacious hall through the Edward Street entrance, and you had to go through some kind of turnstile. And the bath itself, the pool itself, was well over 100 feet, and it also had spectator galleries with underwater lighting, diving boards, and even had water polo goals. So yeah, and they also had an entrance in Lodge Road just ahead of me, down the side, for meetings and that sort of thing, so you could actually enter that side of the building. For the old baths, after the new baths were installed, the old baths were still in use, I believe, and the entrance was in Lombard Street. Exit was out at Edward Street. It had a learner's bath there. It had ladies and men's private slipper baths, which were a kind of showers. There's 112 of those slipper baths for women and only 20 for the men. Inside the newer baths over this side, there was also a retiring room, a lounge, and a kitchen. But sadly, this side of the baths here, where I'm looking at now, the original building, that was again bombed during that fateful night of November the 19th, 1940, because as we've seen, the Edward Street Hospital just there was bombed. Some houses ahead of me were bombed, and sadly the public baths didn't fare no better, because that got hit by a bomb, and so that pool was out of commission. It couldn't be used. So eventually, not sure when, but they decided to rebuild, and we've got a new pool this side. So we got two pools, I believe, and it was renamed the Gala Baths. In the summertime, the baths were all open and all in use. In the winter time, I'm not sure, was it both, or one of the swimming pools was boarded over, and that would be used for a concerts, indoor bowling, you know, and mainly dancing as well. So it had many uses, and towards the end of its life, the Gala Baths, fewer and fewer people started to use it. I know I remember using it just to go to the gym, but fewer people used the baths, and so they didn't even bother taking the boards up in the end. They just left it there, and they never got refilled. And eventually the Gala Baths was no more in 2010, when it was all demolished. I think that was about it for the Gala Baths, but you can see it's a very, very, very spacious area, and it's just a memory now. There's just absolutely nothing left, as far as I'm aware, of the Gala Baths were ever here. But it was quite a rather big, majestic building in its time, and all we got now is memories of what it used to be, and how many people enjoyed using the facilities in there. But now it's all gone now. Okay folks, so that's it really. I just thought I'd show you quickly what some of the other buildings around here. It's a very historical area around here really. There's quite a few famous old buildings in this small area of Edward Street, Lombard Street and Lodge Road. Eventually they did get round to building some new baths down, I think it's down Moore Street that way, Moore Street, Bromford Lane. Yeah, you got some new baths down there. That was the Gala Baths for you then. So I hope you liked the video, and if you did, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.